You keep the same routine. I think routine is extremely important. As an example of that, I thought a week ago or last week we were out of our routine a little bit. No school, and those we didn't come out. We came out. I thought we played a good game on Friday, but I thought we emotionally, and I think the guys felt that way as well. We came out just a little flat. We'll get back into our routine this week of classes and. Prepare as we always do. I thought they played with great emotion for the seniors, and I thought the seniors played with great emotion as well. Crowd was outstanding. There were people that filtered back in that weren't there on Friday night. Just the overall energy level was very average on Friday. But I still thought we played a good hockey game. It was one shot. They made a shot in the second period. We had several good looks at the net. I thought Charter played very extremely well for St. Thomas, and I thought St. Thomas played really hard, blocked a lot of shots, and they were playing to get home ice advantage. That's a big step for their program, and they earned that. So I thought Saturday there was a lot of emotion for senior night, and a lot of emotion with what was on the line. We controlled our own destiny, with the win that we're in as things worked out, and guys were able to score early and get some goals in the game. I thought everybody played well on Saturday night. I thought Pedler's line played well. They were okay again. The whole team was just good, but not. Our energy level was just. I thought that Friday's game was just kind of a blah game in some ways by both teams. Nerves, whatever, plays into it. Routine. Saturday, we've been getting that play out of our entire lineup for the last several weeks. Whether that equates into goals or not, I think Richards on Friday night had 5 or 6 scoring chances. Yeah. Works had, 6, 7 scoring chances on Friday night. Those are high totals, and normally they're going to equate into a goal for you. So I think we've been getting some pretty consistent play and contributions from everybody, and we certainly don't want to be a team that if one line doesn't score, you can't win, and that's kind of what the concern is. But you look at Bowling Green a couple of weeks ago, we got one goal out of Gordon and then an empty net goal on Saturday night out of Logan. Other than that, the scoring was all from our secondary, if you want to call it that, was from the other players. Yeah. And then I thought, on Saturday, obviously this week we had a lot of balance, but what really put us over the top on Saturday was Piedla's line was incredible. I thought Gordon had a lot of offense, that he was involved in, and Mosley played very well, and we obviously got good goaltending. Our D's been playing consistently pretty well, so I just think there's growth. He's just calm. It's hard. I've never seen him get rattled or so. What he's doing right now is he's getting the puck is, we're playing away in front of him that he doesn't have to overly analyze the play. He can just play the way he plays. Where before, you could tell he was playing farther back in the net because our coverages weren't, certainly weren't consistent. And I think with the evolution of our D core is playing much better, and I think that's really giving Blake the opportunity to play the way that he plays. Focus on the puck, track his rebounds, and play it that way instead of, having to know where everybody's at, so that there's that bit of distraction where some puck goes in from somewhere because he's, having to play, multiple facets of what may occur. They're a good hockey team. 2 weeks ago, when we went down to play them, they were 8-1-1, 6-1-1, whatever, going in. Within a good weekend could have put them into first place, and then we had a pretty good weekend. And then they have travel this last week. They're coming off of a weekend where where they went from being able to win the league, in that weekend against us, to then all of a sudden it's a 2-team race with Mankato and Bemidji, so they're out of it. So probably just a little deflation there. Last weekend in some ways where now it's fresh again, and we'll see the Bowling Green team that they played well against us down there as well. We just happened to score some goals, and they had us 1-0 in the third period on Saturday night, and we're able to get a couple of goals there and take the lead and get an empty netter and win that game coming from behind. Good hockey team, well coached, big, strong, good on the boards, good on special teams, outstanding goaltender. I think was a tremendous goaltender, big freshman. So it's gonna be a great series. I think our series could certainly be one of them that go down to 3 games. I think all the series is going to be highly contested. Yeah, he's been pretty consistent all year long. We've been able to control his minutes a little bit more, which is important with the evolution of some other players. That's a big deal, especially as you get into game 2 and possibly this weekend game 3. But he's, the thing about Chase, the thing about Nick Williams, they won a championship a year ago in Youngstown. They know how to win, and their performance is showing that. They've been consistently, since Campbell went down and Williams' role has been elevated. Someone should hit me over the head with a hammer as to why we didn't, do something earlier and get him more involved earlier. So, but we didn't. At that time we didn't feel we needed both Campbell and we had a lot of guys that were the same, and what we really needed, the decisions were really between Casper. Look at the penalty kill side of it. We were forced to change course a little bit, and it's proved big dividends. And hats off to Nick for being ready to perform. But he's certainly complimenting Chase. Chase is doing his game, Nick's doing his game. Their transition is good, and again, I'm proud of all of our D. I think that the biggest evolution, when I look at the whole grand scheme of things, we were picked to win the league. You and I talked about this earlier. Picked to win the league, and we finished tied for second. And with a great finish. We played in our last, a very good finish. In our last 3 weeks, we played teams that were all ahead of us, all in the top 4 in the standings. We were 5 points out of a playoff berth going into Friday night's game at Bowling Green, and Bowling Green had lost like 1 game in their last 8 or something. So our guys were able to get points against Mankato, who was rolling at the time. Our guys were able to get points against Bowling Green, who was rolling at the time. We were able to get points that we needed against a St. Thomas team, who the week before could have almost, was playing for the league championship. So I give our guys a ton of credit. If you look at going in, the primary reason we were picked to win the league was because when Blake and Logan were returning, we returned what many thought to be our top line with Mosley and Pietla and Kukkonen, and then we returned our All-American goalie. So who else had that? So teams picked us to win. I probably would have picked us to win as well, but you have to have defense to win. You have to play. Your defensemen have to get the puck to those forwards. You have to, not play in your zone. You have to have consistency. And our evolution has been with the growth of our defensive core. As our defensive core has evolved, which it has considerably in the last. We've gone from probably being 6th in the league at Christmas time in goals against average and save percentage, and now Blake is Blake is percentage points. He's played twice as many games as any other goalie. He has twice as many saves as any goalie, and his numbers are right back down. I don't know what he finished last year with his goals against average in league play, but he's like 205 right now with a 925 or something save percentage. His numbers are outstanding, and that's been, it's been with a big second half push. So as our defense has evolved, as we've gotten more balance in some of our offensive lines, it's come with guys out. It's come with some major injuries, season-ending injuries. I give our guys full credit, but you have to have defensemen that can defend and move the puck. And I again, you talk about Chase, but I give our entire D-Corps credit for that. I think they've all done an exceptional job. Forwards have done a good job of helping out, and a couple of shutouts in the last 4 games against top 4 teams in our league is pretty good achievement. There's not a reset. It's not like we're going to try to, the concern a month, 5 weeks ago was that we have no consistency to our game, and you can't just go into the playoffs hoping that things change, because they don't just magically change. You have to it's an evolution over time. Right now we're getting contributions from a lot of guys. Our game is probably in the best place as far as that consistency that we've been in all year long. So it's a matter of us trying to continue playing the game the right way, and then whatever happens, it happens. Like right now, everybody's even. I'm very proud of the way the team has grown. It has been a journey, at times an unpleasant journey, but I think it was a year that was manufactured with expectations, and I just spoke about those expectations were valid, but it's not like our team collapsed and we struggled and hung in there and just trying to find our identity and trying to grow. But there's a lot of teams that finish below us. You know what I mean? And it's not like we were, going to run away and be an AQ in the national tournament. We started the year with, I don't know if we had a D that had 35 career games under them. I mean, we got Piedla, a freshman, Williams, a freshman, Orrs played, he played under 20 games. Jed Piedla had played under 35 games. We didn't have a guy. I mean, Campbell's a transfer freshman. Getz played like 17 games as a freshman last year. We didn't have Russell played 20-something games his first year, was out almost all of last year with an injury and surgery. You know what I mean? Like, got to be realistic. There were a lot of expectations, and I like that. I like those expectations. But when all's said and done, my message to the group is, you had a really good run of consistent hockey to end the year. We went through the top of the league in the last 3 weeks. All of them playing their game on a roll, playing for a championship. We were really the only team that was fighting like from the outside. We were 5 points out, going into last week. 5 points out of a home ice playoff berth. 2 games out of, with 4 games left, 2 games out of a home ice playoff berth, and ended up, finishing second place. I look at all the positives. So it's the end game we're after. It's the journey was what it was. The journey helped us grow and get to where we are right now. And right now, I like where we're at.